For our operations positions, the positions that require primarily just secondary education, they come out of high school and then can apply for a job here. The skills that we test for are mathematics skills. They, the fractions, decimals, those types of things, percentages. The equipment that we have is highly specialized equipment, and they have to have these. I won't even say basic math skills, but somewhat, complicated math skills that they have to be able to perform every day. Reading comprehension is important also, that is tested. Those two things, I would say, come out of a book, but then we also have team building type skills that we test for, that we look for to see if they're open to that, and then also observational skills. And I look at that really more that they can think on their feet, that they, observe things, see things, and know how to react to them. This is our manufacturing facility is very skills oriented, very complicated, and they need to be able to think on their feet and react quickly to save material and to save themselves from being hurt at that. Now we also have mechanical and electrical maintenance positions that sometimes can be filled with students straight out of a vocational school program, and then oftentimes an associate degree program is sufficient for those. And we've actually developed a program that we pay for employees to go to school, a program at JCC, to fulfill these skills, because we don't have enough employees. We don't have enough applicants to fill the jobs. So that's one area. And then on our professional positions, we have a number of engineering positions, and then administrative, commercial, information systems, accounting, finance positions too. I would say we probably have we'll go through 6 or 7 applicants to get one that we can use to fill the positions. Fortunately or unfortunately, I guess fortunately for us, where we're located, we're right on the Ohio River, right across from Indiana. So we can pull from Kentucky or Indiana, and we do. Because we're in Kentucky, and because we've received generous tax benefits on the property tax and some on the under the KIDA programs, our first choice would be to fill with Kentucky residents. However, we choose the best person for the job, and sometimes probably a third of our employees are from Indiana that we choose from over there. So it isn't always easy to find suitable applicants for the jobs.
Even in these times.
I don't think we're unique in our being required to compete globally. I think it's becoming more and more of a global marketplace in a lot of different fields of business, and we certainly are. We have to compete globally in the product that we sell. So, we can't have an unskilled workforce. We have to have a skilled workforce that's competitive, and it allows us to be more competitive. And I'm certain that that's the case in almost all industries, in the manufacturing sector primarily is what I'm speaking of, because it truly is a global marketplace, and we compete against people in Europe and Asia and South America. And we have to be able to have qualified employees who are very productive. And in order to do that, they have to have those basic skills to walk in the door and assist us with being competitive. And I'm certain that's the case for almost any manufacturer. And I think there are fundamental curriculum that has to be taught, and I think the schools know primarily what that is. I'm a firm believer in testing and requirements and firm requirements of getting through certain levels, and don't get beyond those levels unless those basic, not basic, but those standards are met. I also think personally, I think they need to be taught to give a darn. You know, I hate to say it, and I have met with our local superintendent and was invited to come with a group of community people involved in employment, and had the conversation about the higher skills and the higher requirements that they're going to have to meet on the percentage of students that go on to college or are successfully completing the secondary education. And you know, that ability to encourage, motivate students has to be there. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't see that they're just not motivated. They just don't give a darn. And that's unfortunate. They won't make it anywhere. They won't make it in any job if that's not the case. But it's a real problem for some of the students we see here.
Well, I think that part of the hope on these the tougher work is it'll be more challenging and students will be more interested, etc. I mean, they might think it's harder, but at least they'll be more engaged. I think people are hoping that might be the case, and then it won't discourage them, you know, and prompt them to leave. You really have touched on everything that I was hoping to talk to you about, but if you have additional comments you'd like to make, that would be welcome, or if you have
I don't know really what else it would be. Like that motivational thing. I think the schools indicated that they had to have a lot of help from parents and from others to help them in doing that. But it was people in all areas, not just in manufacturing, that spoke about that, and that's unfortunate that's the case.
And
apathy.
And then not to get on my soapbox, but the so-called employability skills of showing up on time, having the attitude, knowing that you can't just not go into work today because you don't feel quite right. I mean, I hear a lot of that from employers.
That's where does that come from? And those kinds of things can be taught, at least communicated to them, that you're going to have to do these things. And I suppose they have programs like that in schools. I don't know. It's been too long, and my children are older that have been out of that. But you can't. Employers can't have that. There's nothing. We so appreciate and so enjoy people that are excited about their job and interested in their job and want to learn and want to take on more and more responsibility. And those are the ones that are going to be successful, because whether they have the education but if they want to learn and they come in here with the attitude of wanting to learn and wanting to succeed, 9 times out of 10 they will. And unfortunately also, we had situations where there were a number of industry here that were giving scholarships away to the local community college for these technical positions, that I'll call them, chemical technology and mechanical and electric technology. These kids would have come out of this associate degree program probably making $50,000 to $60,000 a year, and we couldn't give them away. We couldn't give those. We were having to give them away to these students just to have somebody take them, and of course they weren't successful.
I think they just didn't care, or they wanted to do something different, or
I don't think that they were really educated that the programs were even available. I think there wasn't enough encouragement at the secondary level. It's sort of, these kids are college bound and these kids aren't. in the college bounds ones, they were very interested in helping them find, but the ones that they thought maybe weren't going to go to a four-year college weren't given adequate information about these other programs that are available. And everybody's not four-year college material. And we don't need everybody to have four-year college degrees. We need them to have employable skills. And you don't have to have that for a lot of good manufacturing jobs.
Well, the emphasis of these new standards, as you know, is college and career.
Career, right. Right.
Again, it's hope that will address some of these issues.
Yeah.
Do you all have any questions or any follow-up?
What would you tell, and you can address this to Diana,
Mm-hmm.
other people in industry, what can you all as a group do to help facilitate that, to get that information out, to work with the educators? How can that come about?
I mean, we have a close connection with the local schools. We have worked with sort of some of the math curriculum of the types of skills that employees need to have here. But I would think that would be a good joint relationship that the schools and industries could have. And I know that CAM has programs that they go into the schools and assist with to make sure that they're aware of those types of skills that industry needs. So more of that, of a discussion between the schools and the industries in the area on where, and again, I think we've done some of that because I know the community, not the community college, the vocational school, I don't remember now really what they're called these days, but the vocational school, they do a lot on the electrical and the mechanical, and a lot of us and the other industry in this area donate old equipment to them to use for training for their employee or for their students. And we've had some of our maintenance managers that go down and assist in classroom work with trying to interest them in those types of skills and those types of career choices. So I think that could be helpful between those partnerships between the schools and businesses.
Great. Well, this has been great.
Okay.